How's it going, everybody? It's time to add to your collection with three watches. Price is not an issue. Can't resell them. And which ones would you go for? Um, Hi, Chili Badger. How you doing? How are things in Southern England? Here we seem to have a very nice day. It's not too hot. It's not too cold. Got Goldilocks weather we have just right. Hi, Rel. Uh, I've been going over. Oh, hey, I'll tell you guys a quick story while we're waiting to get going. Oh, it's windy. That's too bad. Hi, Dom. How you going? Say, is let me ask, is the sound okay? Hi, Washington fan. Hey, Caesar. Got your Jeep your Grand Prix entry, Caesar. Hi, Britt. Rancher. Hi, Mark. Canadian Watch Monkey. Monkey. uh, Had a friend in graduate school. I think he taught at the University of British Columbia, which I think is in Vancouver area. Okie doke. Here's my watch story. I got this is my double hairspring, my uh, H. Moser Henry double hairspring. This watch has been fantastic. Um, a few years ago, maybe not too long ago, I got an ABP Concepts Paris Gator band for it, and sort of a nice dark green color. And I got it with a deployant class, so I wouldn't have to bend the leather so much. For some reason, that clasp just didn't work very well. It was one of those butterfly clasps where you click it. And so what I had is that I had the original strap for this and the original buckle. And so I dug them out and took the buckle off, and I had to cut a slot for the tongue here and worked on that a good part of the day playing watchmaker. And it worked. So anyway, I thought that was my big accomplishment. Okay, doke, guys. Let's see what you got here. Um, oh yeah, ceiling fan. Yeah, it's not that warm. It's just sort of like we we have we have the air conditioners on. I think we have about my wife has 1 degree that she's comfortable in, and either that the heater's on or the air conditioning and fans are on. I think we're above that 1 degree. Um, hey Abdul, how you doing? Hey Brian, about time you woke up. Thomas, hey John. Okay, all right, guys. Let me start off, and this is I was going through this and looking for what three watches that I'd pick. If I could say, okay, you can have three of these for your collection. You can't sell them, and they're yours forever. Which ones would I pick? And the three I would probably pick. I've been after a world timer for a long time, so I'd pick. And of course, I like Root and Lannon's work, so I'd get that one. I'd get the Root and Lannon world timer. I like the Gronfeld a lot. I just like their watches in general, and sort of that's about as far as a sports watch as far as my sports go. So that would be a good match. The final one, that would probably be I'm the Berthold. That one is just looks like very, very interesting horology in that watch. So that would be my picks. How about you guys? Which ones do you like? What do you say, Andrew? The land of Chili Burger. Chili Burger, there is no Rolex in the competition. It's got to be from the competition. Okay, CZ, you like the Simon Brett Chronomet Artisans Anton Sukharov Racer? Cool. The Peterman Bidet chronograph would be my first pick. Abdul. Abdul, I tell you, if I like chronographs, that was my big blockage. If I like chronographs, I would have an embarrassment of riches because I really liked. There were three of them I ended up liking. Of course, I like the Singer with the Agengraph movement. I like the Peterman Bidet, 250,000 Swiss francs. That's a fairly expensive. Forgot what the other one was, but yeah, they were this year. The ones I liked the most were just about all from chronographs. Um, I did own an Evil World Timer, but needed upselling to a gentleman in Dubai. Well, that'll happen. We've all had that happen. Canadian watch monkey. Hey, Goldfinger, how you doing? Um, Wooten Lantern World Timer would be my third. Okay. Good morning, Javi. Robert, how are you? The Brinhen's Ultra Lightweight is out there, and I like it. Okay. You know, the one that I put up on High Horology Lounge today, I ended up liking a lot. It's like about as simple as you can get with a watch in terms of the front of it. And I had to translate the French for some reason. When you enter a watch into the Grand Prix, you have to put the write up both in English and in French. Apparently, this guy just did the French version. Okay, let me see. I'm trying to think. You know, a lot of the women's watches were barely disguised men's watches that they added some bling to. They weren't true women's watches, and I mean true women's watches in the sense that everything from the size, the type of movement, everything else was involved. They had some beautiful ones, so I do admit that. Okay, you guys, this is it. All right, no more favorite watches that you'd like from that collection. Trying to think of some other ones. Let me see if I can bring this up and sort of look at it. You know, another watch that I like is the Audemars Piguet with the Wandering Hours. They, I think, were one of the first companies to have that. Um, so that I don't know. I don't like the looks of it that much. I mean, it just I mean, here you have this incredible watch, and then you got a looks like a almost like a NATO strap on it. But it's not bad. You know, one of the things that surprised me, is that they have my Beauvais 1930 up. Beauvais 1822 put it up, and they have the only thing they did is put a meter right for the back. Otherwise, it's almost identical. There's a few changes to it. They got rid of the there was sort of like a little window over on the left side that did nothing, and I guess he decided enough people got bothered by it, so they took it out. Okay, let's see what you got. Okay, a Residence plus Ulysses Nardine plus AP Royal Oak. Okay, AP Royal Oak. Not sure which one that is. The one I was just looking at, the Wandering Hours, was on a code 1159, but that's okay. What do I know? Let's see, Andrew. I don't know why, but that Arnold and Son. Yeah, I like the looks of the Arnold and Son. I'm just not too sure about certain aspects of their movement, but I like the looks of that one too. De Bethune Chronograph. I like that one also. Hey Andrew, yeah, I think the one that I really like, I don't know why, I don't know if it's any good or not, is the Rex Heppy. That's oh god, he's got these unusual names. Rex Heppy. It's his brother, I think. Both singers are nice. Yeah. Hey Spiz, FPJ T10 Tourbillon. There's no FPJ in the contest, Spiz. I like the Bulgari striking Papillon. That is nice. It's funny. I think it's in the Petite Aiguille is one of my favorite economical watches. It's great quality, and it doesn't. It's well under 10,000, and that's the Bulgari Roma. Octo Roma. That one I like a lot, and I find it here. It is. They put it up. What else you got here, Richard? The MB&F was spectacular, but we'll have to wait for my Seaward Bel Canto. They're having finishing problems, but there are a couple more months to get it. Man, I tell you, that was the Bel Canto coming out of Christopher Ward was a big surprise for one thing, and hugely successful for another. So I mean, everybody wanted one. It's a great price too. Star Wheel. That's what it's. They bought it from. They bought out the Star Wheel in 1991. Thanks, Thomas, for that update on that. Chopek replaced by CW12. I'm not sure what that means, Caesar. CW. Oh. You mean, is that the Christopher Ward? Yeah, I see what you mean. The Dumero that you showed, lovely. I agree. I mean, if it was our budget, that would probably be included. By the way, too, those of you who entered the Grand Prix picks contest, that's our first prize. Well, when I say first prize, the first one we give out is for the most watches that were named as part of the nominations. The second one is for the most hitting the most winners, and that's really our top prize, and that's where the Dumero will be going to, whoever won that. De Bethune, yeah, DB8, Audemars Piguet code. Yeah, good selection there, Brian. I like those. If I could sell it, he'd get the 1159, huh? Hey, Mohammed, how you doing? What about Beauvais? Uh, you know, that watch reminds me of, God, I think it was 2013 or 2014, sometime like that. It was one of the first watch time shows that they had in New York. It was either the first or the second one. And I went to that one, and Vacheron Constantin had that watch that looked, it was for some reason, I guess they call it watches, this round thing. And it had the most complications of any watch. From about 1900 until 1989, El Leroy had the most complicated one. Then Patek Philippe had it. They came out with their most complicated watch in 1989, and they had it until 2013 when Vacheron Constantin came out with their most complicated one. And when I looked at that Beauvais 1822, man, I tell you, that would be a tempting watch to have. I tell you, another watches that I really like and would be very, very tempting would be the Laurent Ferrier. Tourbillons, the nicest looking tourbillon is that Parmigiani, at least in terms of the way it looked. I really like the looks of that. That Chronomet FB, what is that name? Chronomet FB 3 SPC. This is Ferdinand Berthold. That's a honey of a watch. Okay, what else you guys have? Hey, Tim, how you doing? It's 5 o'clock somewhere, Tim. Okay, Robert, let's see. Abdul, you're right. That's another point. That Beauvais is going to be a finalist. Let me see if I can find it here. The Beauvais, what is it called? Yeah, the Beauvais recital. Man, that thing is got to be on the finalists. The rest of the competition there, Sose Parmigiani, that'll be a finalist too. Those two, I'm not sure about the rest of them. That Philippe Piculink is interesting, but I just don't know. That's none of those are. I just wasn't crazy about any of those calendar watches. Same thing with the mechanical exceptions. They didn't have anything there that I was really wowed by. Ruta Sylvia, probably more than any of the other ones, would be my guess on that. But that Chopek is awfully nice too. Chronographs, they got lots of those. The De Bethune, the Singer, and the Petermann Badat. Those are great looking ones. Sports watch. I was looking at that. My sports is not very active. Okay. I go on 5K walks every day. I get a kick out of that. It's a low impact. It's great exercise. And my neighbors know that I'm still alive, which is they don't have to wonder. But so Groenfeld with that rubber strap would be great for me. But boy, I tell you, most of the really active things, my favorite, I don't know why, I've liked it for years, and I've always liked it, is the Doxa. And I like this year's the Doxa Army. I don't know. Let's see what else you got. What Parmigiani should win? Not talking about dinner. Tim, if I hear one more time the Parmigiani compared with Parmesan, I'm gonna quack. Yeah, I get to air my berets out. I'm extremely thankful you're not as thankful as I am. Uh, it was oh, okay, let's see what else we got here. You know, Tudor is in 2 categories. Tudor wins something every year. I I I I think it's written somewhere in the rules that Tudor must win something because it's the only thing that, Rolex is willing to put out there. And they've got one in the, what is it? The Petite Aiguille and one in the sports, I think. The one in the sports, I don't know. The sports category is a very tough one. In 2017, I knew the guy, the judge, who was the head of the committee who was dealing with sports. And there was this Ulysse Nardine that they had. It was one of the competing watches. Really, this magnificent. It's $180,000. And then there was this, who was it? Egerhart, I think. An Egerhart that was like a $2,000 or something, and it won. And I asked him, I said, "My God, how did that happen?" I mean, it had like an ETA in it or something like that. I said, "How did that happen?" He said, "Well," he said, "for the functionality of it," he said, "that Eberhard had everything that and more that the Ulysse Nardine had." And so I think one of the things, this is why I think that the Gronfeld will make nominations. I really do, but uh, I think the same thing happened to our Larique in the same category. Who it wasn't that category? It wasn't in the sports category. It was in the Petite Aiguille category, and we got accused of gaming the system by having too low of a price on our watch and basically going in and putting in a NFL player in the Pop Warner League, and we learned our lesson. I wonder if that's going to happen to the Gronfeld or not. I have no idea. I think most people really like the Gronfeld brothers. I do. They're great guys, but I don't know. You know, another thing too. The Chopard Eagle's an awfully nice watch. I just noticed that one too. The Alpine Eagle for sort of a dressy sports watch. And the Pelagos, they've won before, except they had a blue color, so they must have been a different watch. A lot of these things are nuts. So, um, okay, let's see what they got now. The one that Tudor has in Petite Aiguille is the Tudor Black Bay. Where have I heard that name before? The Tudor Black Bays, and I like the one with sort of the red maroon bezel on it, but that, are they going to give it to that compared to, they got a lot of other watches in this category. One is the Reservoir, is a really nice watch. I like the Louis Arad, the Garrick. That's a great looking watch. Harboring 2, the Chrono Felix. That watch is one that I think you give a run for money. They have the Bel Canto. Man, that is. I got a feeling people may be upset if Tudor wins yet again for the essentially the same watch, and we got run out of there because even though our watch was the price was set right, the people said no, it's worth a lot more than that. Oh, who knows? Okay, let's see. Tudor will also win again. Yeah, Abdul making a Parmigiani cheese pun. Horological dad joke. Yeah, that's exactly right. A horological dad joke. Very good. Talking about awards, I believe Zenith has won more than any other brand. No, Audemars Piguet has. I'll tell you a brand that's won a lot of awards, at least Grand Prix awards, is believe it or not, is Hublot. They've won like 7 or 8. And it's sort of interesting looking at their history. They've got some good watches. I know they're sort of like let's hate Hublot, but they do have some very good watches. Okay. Yeah, Abdul, you're right. Some of the watches here they just put there for marketing purposes, and there is no cheaper way than the 800 bucks or 700 or whatever it is to enter the Grand Prix to get your watch out there. I mean, even though we didn't even make it to the nominations, we will next time. We're going to win next time. Wait till next year. We didn't have ours, the Etude number 2 done in time for this year, but next year it'll be all set. But I'll tell you, more people I think learned about our watch through the Grand Prix, and we didn't have other than the local uh, social media, which is we're not in the whitest. We're not Rolex, in other words, so we're not our Omega or some of the other really popular brands, and we don't talk about the popular brands in our social media very much, and so. But my God, I tell you, once that thing was out there in GPHG. So Abdul, I think your point is spot on. It's I figure we're not going to win. We're going to get our clocks clean, so we'll enter it, and people will and then we'll complain about it. We'll say, "Wow, we didn't win because so and so knew so and so." Yeah, I think Black Bay will be. They have all they need is a new paint job every year, and they put them back out again. Why did they name it Hublot? Because you see you suck. Yeah, that's why. Uh, yeah, the Primrose. That one is really the one we on the High Horology Lounge. We had that up today for sort of the watch of the day. That's a very interesting one. I had to. That's the one that the guy put all of the stuff in French, and so I had to take it to my Google Translate and translate it all. Probably not a bad idea to leave the write up in French. But one thing that he had about it was that he used a Jurgensen uh, base plate, I guess, to set the movement up. So, oh, okay, Canadian watch whiskey, yeah. Yeah, I was talking about the Grand Prix award, but yeah, I'm sure they've got all kinds of chronometer awards. Oh, good question, Rancher. Urban Jurgensen, as everybody probably knows, was bought by Cardivoot and Lannon and a group of other, I guess, a group of investors. Rancher and I happened to be fortunate enough to get the last of their the original ones, and they're great watches. And I I found somewhere that at one time, actually, Kari Voutilanen had done some work for um, some prototype work for Urban Jurgensen, and I don't blame them for liking the brand. They're fabulous watches. They're really fantastic. But this year was the big year. They were supposed to come out with the new ones, Even Kari Voutilainen's daughter had been appointed to be sort of the person who's going to be the customer relations person, and included those of us who had the original Urban Jurgensen. So that's a good question, Rancher. I'm waiting for the bated breath to see what happens with you, Jay. I don't know if I got bated breath. I got halitosis, but it hasn't been baited yet. Okay, there's another dad joke for you. All right, Rancher and everybody else, thanks for coming. Let's see. Got to run now. Okay, I'll do one more. Richard, your distaste for graphs. And watched did you see the cartoon of a working girl offering to do anything for $50? The car driver says, "Can you service a chronograph?" Jesus. Richard, I don't have a distaste. I'm not like a chronograph hater. It's just a watch that it's got all kinds of gizmos I wouldn't use, and it clogs up the dial. That's the only thing I don't like about it, and that is why I like the Singer. They're very clean, nice looking watches, and they will do that function whenever I need to. I don't know what. It's okay, guys, let's synchronize our watches and we'll go over the top. I don't need that yet. Okay, doke, everyone. Take care. Uh, and this afternoon we'll see if I don't know any ideas of what we could talk about this afternoon. I enjoy talking about watches I can't afford, but otherwise, everyone take care, be safe, and hasta la vista.